Our next guest is the most winningest champion in the history of the real estate debate. She's won the competition 8 times. I consider her to be one of the most knowledgeable real estate professionals in all of San Diego. Today, we'll be discussing the potential impact of the controversial One Paseo development in the Mar-Carmel Valley and Del Mar area. Please welcome to the show, my good friend, Elizabeth Story is here. Elizabeth, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Now, you're a Carmel Valley expert. I live in Del Mar, so we've seen this One Paseo thing. There's people at the Ralphs, greeting you, trying to get you to sign stuff. What is this One Paseo thing?
So One Paseo has gone through quite the tumultuous experience. It's basically a $750 million, 23.6 acre parcel, mixed-use development of shops, offices, and more than 600 residences. Now, in the beginning, the project was proposed and it started to get a lot of opposition. It was passed by City Council earlier this year, but the opposers were able to get 60,000 signatures to rescind that approval. So the family behind it, or the group behind it, Kilroy Realty, has been working with the 3 main opposing groups to come to a compromise to put forth a new plan that is now actually being more supported by the community and those 3 opposing groups.
Okay, so what was the opposition all about? I mean, who wouldn't want new development and new stuff, in their area? Wouldn't it be good for it?
Well, it's a double-sided sword because the project is on what is already one of the busiest intersections in Carmel Valley, and there already is some traffic congestion there, and their biggest concern, especially with 600 residences and mixed-use development, is the traffic impact that it will have to that area and people getting on and off the freeway, and also the height of the buildings was a big concern. So they have now agreed to go no higher than 7 stories, and the opposition is okay with that. But there still is the long-term concern of traffic because there's supposed to be road improvements and freeway improvements, but those improvements might not happen until after the project's actually finished, up to 15 years later.
Wow.
It's a long time to wait for a new freeway.
That's a long time. What do you think, if you were a real estate owner in the area, would One Paseo, would that development going in as it's structured now, would that be a good thing for real estate values, or would that inventory be a problem?
Let's be honest here. Nobody likes orange cones, nobody likes traffic dust, nobody likes tractor dust, nobody likes to be stuck behind a traffic. I think that I would be a liar if I said that all the neighboring homeowners are going to be super thrilled when that ground breaks, because it's going to cause some, ugliness around the area and some dust and noise, obviously. But, the project is a minimum right now 18 months out. It has to get reapproved, and there'll be 18 months between the time it gets reapproved and they break ground. And if I lived really nearby and I wanted to sell, I probably would do it before they broke ground or after it's done. But I wouldn't be too jazzed about doing it while it's under construction. Now, sure, there's going to be homeowners who will see past it, but not all of them will. And then, of course, once those new residences are available, if you have a residence that's extremely similar to a new residence that's coming on the market, it will be tough for you to compete. So I'd either sell before or, a year or 2 after it's already done.
This Carmel Valley market, let's talk about it. It's one of the hottest markets in San Diego. I mean, I haven't seen anything like it. It was like Del Mar it was just Del Mar. Oh, Del Mar it's Del Mar. And then now it's Carmel Valley.
Yeah.
Why? How's that the case?
Let me tell you why. Carmel Valley has an impressive list of neighbors. They have Del Mar to the west, Rancho Santa Fe to the north, and Sorrento Valley to the south. Sorrento Valley is obviously mostly office buildings, but that feeds into Carmel Valley because if you work in Sorrento Valley, why wouldn't you want to live in Carmel Valley? The average purchase price in Del Mar in July of 2015 was $1.5 million. The average purchase price in Rancho Santa Fe in July was $2.675 million. And the average purchase price in Carmel Valley for July of 2015 was $991.
Wow.
It is completely centrally located. You can get almost any freeway in San Diego easily. It's clean, it's well run, it's newer. I mean, 15, 20 years ago, there really wasn't much to Carmel Valley. It continues to expand, and it's expanding well. It's pretty well thought out. They have the right amount of shopping centers and parks each time they expand. One thing I'd love to see in Carmel Valley as new developments continue is maybe a little bit bigger lot sizes and a little bit more privacy. But overall, it's just a beautiful community, a beautiful school district, beautiful parks and shopping centers, and it's centrally located, and it's one of the most affordable centrally located places in, what some might call North County.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it more North County.
More Central County.
It's more central.
Let's
The boundaries,
coin that term.
They're changing. Central County. The boundaries are changing because Sorrento Valley was North County, at one point, and now it's really not. Like North County is like Carlsbad, Oceanside. That's North County. Things are changing. Same thing on the East County border. I mean, used to be Del Cerro was East County. That's not East County anymore. So this makes sense to me, Nin. But what's interesting is how this has gone down, because the $991 that you're talking about, the average purchase price, it's been a frenzy for that $991. The Del Mar average purchase price is like, homes are on the market for 3-4 months or longer to get that 1.5. But in Carmel Valley, those $1 million homes, people are paying cash for those things.
Right.
It's crazy. So there's a lot of demand there. And I think we'll see those prices go higher. What do you think?
I do think that they will continue to raise as the demand continues to raise. There are some new construction developments out there. It'll be interesting to see what it does to resale values. But the other thing to note when you're comparing like Del Mar and Carmel Valley, for example, is, the price is higher. The average price that I mentioned is higher, but you're also probably a lot of times getting less. You might be even getting less square feet because you're paying for that proximity to the ocean, whereas people are happy to, go a little further east and get more house for their money, because Carmel Valley is very much a family area. It's the place where people want 3 and 4 bedrooms and a little bit of a yard, whereas Del Mar, you just have a very diverse mix. It's families too, but it's also, just not all the same types of properties, where Carmel Valley really has kind of a common type of property.
It does. It's newer. I mean, that's the thing. People like new. They do. I'm learning this about myself too, because I live in Del Mar, and no offense to Del Mar at all, but everything there's just old. Unless you're one of the lucky people who's building a brand new house on a lot, and there's a couple of them that are doing. Unless if you're like me and you live in a house that's like from the 70s, I mean, it would be great to live in a newer home, And so there's a price that you have to pay, and I think for a lot of people with kids and their home, they spend a lot of time in their home. It's like, we'd rather have the nicer place over here with the brand new schools.
Right.
That means a lot to people with kids.
Yeah, it really does. And that's what continues to drive home buyers to Carmel Valley.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Great stuff from Elizabeth Story, our Carmel Valley expert. You can find out more at storyestates.com. Elizabeth, thank you so much for being here today.